Hello, today we will have a discussion on chapter number 5, Geography from Standard 10th. And the name of the chapter is Minerals and Energy Resources. Now, minerals can be classified into three categories. One is the metallic, second is the non-metallic, and third is the energy resources. Metallic, non-metallic, and energy resources. Metallic can further be classified into ferrous and non-ferrous. Metallic can further be classified into ferrous and non-ferrous and precious, ferrous, non-ferrous and precious minerals. Ferrous minerals are those minerals which contain iron. Example: iron ore, manganese, nickel, cobalt. All these are the examples of ferrous minerals. Ferrous minerals are those minerals that contains iron. Non-ferrous minerals are those minerals which do not have any iron content. These minerals are copper, lead, tin, bauxite. Precious minerals are those minerals which are costly, which are expensive. Example: gold, silver, platinum. So metallic minerals can be classified into three categories: ferrous minerals, non-ferrous minerals, and precious minerals. Non-metallic minerals are mica, sulfur, granite, limestone, marble, and sandstone. These are non-metallic minerals. Then you have energy resources. Energy resources can be classified into two categories. One is the conventional source of energy, other is the non-conventional source of energy. Conventional and non-conventional. All these we would be discussing in the chapter further. So energy resources is a conventional and non-conventional source of energy. Conventional sources of energy are coal, petroleum, and natural gas. Those sources of energy which we are using, which we have been using many years ago. From many years ago we are using these resources. That is conventional source of energy. Non-conventional sources of energy are the newly developed source of energy, and their use is limited to few years back. And these resources are atomic energy, solar energy, wind energy, biomass, tidal energy, and geothermal energy. These are the non-conventional sources of energy. So minerals can be classified into different categories, and these categories are metallic, non-metallic, and energy minerals. Metallic are further classified into three categories, that is ferrous, non-ferrous, and precious. And energy resources are classified into two categories, that is conventional and non-conventional source of energy. So what are minerals? Minerals are homogeneous, naturally occurring substance with a definable internal structure. What does the definition of mineral mean? The definition of mineral means that they are homogeneous. They are naturally occurring substances and they are having definable internal structure. So three features you have in a definition. First of all, minerals are homogeneous. Minerals are naturally occurring substances and they are having a definite internal structure. So minerals are found in various form in nature. Minerals are found in various form in nature, and the examples of various forms can be the hardest mineral, which is diamond, and The softest mineral is talc, TALC. This is the softest mineral. So it is found in various forms. It can be in the hardest form, it can be in the softest form. Now, minerals are an indispensable part of our lives. They are they are playing an important role in our lives. They are important for us. What are the reasons why minerals are indispensable parts of our lives? Number one, almost everything we use are made up of minerals. Whatever things we are using, everything are made up of minerals. The railway lines and the tarmac, that is the paving on the roads, all these are also made up of minerals. Car, buses, trains, aeroplanes are manufactured from minerals, and they are run by energy resources which are derived from the earth. This is also a mineral. Then even the food that we eat, that has minerals or it contains minerals. Similarly, all these stages of development, human beings, they have used minerals in their livelihood. Human beings, they have used minerals in their livelihood in the all stages of development. Example, they in the decorations, in the festivals, in the religious festivals, in the ceremonial rites, they're using minerals in one form or the other form. So minerals are an indispensable part of our lives. They're playing a very, very important role in our life. Now, life cannot occur without minerals. The process in the life cannot occur without minerals. Our mineral intake is very, very less. The mineral intake of your human body is 0.3%. This is the mineral intake of our human body. We need 0.3% minerals in our food. Now, this is very, very less. Now, if we are not able to consume this 0.3% minerals, if our food does not contain this 0.3% minerals, then we are not able to utilize the 99.7% of the food that we eat. So in order to utilize the 99.7% food that we eat, intake of 0.3% mineral is very, very necessary. Otherwise 99.7% of the food that we are utilizing, that we are eating, it cannot be utilized properly without that minerals. So minerals are playing a very, very important role in our lives. Now the question is, what are the various forms in which mineral may occur? What are the various forms in which mineral may occur? Minerals may occur in various forms, and the first form is in igneous and the metamorphic rocks. First form in which mineral may occur in igneous and metamorphic rocks. Mineral may occur in the cracks, in the crevices, in the faults or the joints. These are the places where minerals may occur in the igneous and the metamorphic rocks. In the igneous and the metamorphic rocks, mineral may occur in the cracks, in the crevices, faults or joints. Two types of occurrences we have: the smaller occurrences and the larger occurrences. The smaller occurrences is known as veins, and the larger one is known as lodes. So in the faults, in the crevices, in the joints, mineral occur as lodes and veins. The smaller occurrence is known as veins, and the larger occurrence is known as lodes. Tin, copper, zinc and lead are some of the minerals which are found in veins and lodes. Means they are in the form of igneous and metamorphic rocks. They are obtained from those. Next, the second form in which mineral may occur is in sedimentary rocks. In sedimentary rocks, number of minerals occurs in the beds or layers. In the igneous and metamorphic rocks, minerals used to occur in the cracks, crevices, faults and joints, whereas in sedimentary rocks, minerals occurs in beds or layers. They have been formed as a result of the deposition, accumulation and concentration in the horizontal layer. They are pressed, they are found in the horizontal layer, and this is because of it is the result of the deposition and accumulation. They deposited there, they are accumulated there. Because of their accumulation, because of their concentration, they are found in such places. It is cold, gypsum, potash, salt, and sodium salt are found in this way. So minerals they are found in this way also in the sedimentary and in sedimentary rocks. Minerals are found in beds and layers. Third form in which minerals may occur is the residual mass of weathered material. Third form, residual mass of weathered material. This involves the decomposition of surface rocks, removal of the soluble constituents, leaving a residual marks of the weathered material containing ores. Bauxite is formed in this way. This is the third form in which mineral may occur. It may be decomposed on the surface rocks. It may be the result of the removal of the soluble constituents in which a residual mass is left. What is residue? The rocks which are not broken away. We know that expansion and contraction helps in the breaking down of the rocks. After the breaking down of the rocks, a residue is remaining. And those minerals which are formed in such residue is the form. Example, bauxite is formed. It is formed in this way, or it is formed as the residual mass of weathered material. Next form in which mineral may occur is the placer deposits. Certain minerals may occur in alluvial deposits, in the sands of the valley floors and the base of the hills. When the minerals they are found in the sands of the valley floors and in the base of the hills, they are called placer deposits. These minerals are not corroded away by water, and gold, silver, till and platinum are the important minerals which are found in this way. Means they are formed as placer deposits. Then you have minerals are also formed in ocean waters. Point number 5, the various forms in which mineral may occur. Point number 5 is in ocean waters. Ocean waters contain large quantities of minerals, but these are not used widely because they are not used widely, and they're not having the economic significance, they're not having the economic importance. Because they're not having too much economic importance, so they're not used widely. However, it's common salt, magnesium and bromine. Common salt, magnesium and bromine, they are largely derived from the ocean waters. We are getting common salt, magnesium and bromine from the ocean waters. And ocean beds are also rich in manganese nodules. They're also rich in all those type of minerals. So this is an important question. What are the various forms in which mineral may occur? Important question for 5 marks. And previously also you have done a very important question. One more, that minerals are an indispensable part of our lives. Explain with the help of an examples. So minerals may form in various ways, and these are the 5 ways in which minerals normally occur. Our next topic of discussion is rat hole mining. Rat hole mining is the next topic of discussion. Now, we all know that minerals in India are nationalized. Means they are the property of the government. They are the national property. And their extraction is possible only after obtaining permission from the government. If we want to extract them, we have to take permission from the government. Without government's permission, minerals cannot be extracted. But in most of the tribal areas in the northeastern states, there are many tribal areas. Most of the tribal areas in northeastern states, minerals are owned by the individuals or communities. They are regarded as the individual property. They are regarded as the property in which they are belonging to a society. So in most of the tribal areas, that is in the northeastern India, minerals are owned by individuals or communities. In Meghalaya, large deposits of coal, iron ore, limestone and dolomite, etc. are owned by these people. Coal mining in Jawai and Chirapunji is done by the family members. They're doing the coal mining without taking any permission from the government. Mining is done in the form of a long narrow tunnel. Mining is done in the form of long narrow tunnel, and this is called the rat hole mining. So rat hole mining is an illegal mining which is done in the form of long narrow tunnel, and this illegal mining is called rat hole mining. So rat hole mining is an illegal mining done in the northeastern states, and it is illegal because permission from the government is not taken, and people they are doing this mining in the form of a long narrow tunnel which is unsafe, and they are extracting coal, and so this process is referred to as the rat hole mining. This is part 1, and in part 2 we would be discussing the chapter further. Thank you.